These kayakers are riding the powerful tidal waters at SCHOOLTEACHER, a First Nations reserve which means strong waters. The video perfectly represents the experience of Christians who are faced with the sudden prospect of divorce. They are overwhelmed with surging emotions, strong feelings. Sometimes it just seems impossible to keep your head above water. Unfortunately, some are not up to the challenge and they end up chucking their faith. This is how DivorceCare helps 6 people face their struggles, find their way back to God again, and ultimately find faith, hope, and peace.
It was a pretty dark time, a very dark time. I was in a place that scared me, that made me fearful. And God took me from that place and slowly, carefully, joyfully filled me with who He wanted me to be. So yeah, it was a really dark time.
To see me, and at that time I didn't think anybody would be happy to see me. I was so full of shame, and
I came to a point that I was so angry with God that I was ready to just throw my faith away. But I don't wish anybody to walk that path.
In May of 2004, I was told that my wife was leaving me and getting a divorce. It was a total setback, and the night she told me about the separation, I was by myself, totally in the dark, and I just said a simple prayer. I said, God, you're in my hands.
I was separated at the time, and kept driving by the church, Central Heights Church, and I thought, they have DivorceCare. What kind of a church would even recognize divorce or separation? I was intrigued. I had such fear. I thought, oh, how on earth can they help me? But I had the feeling that they could. And so Louise met me at the door, and as soon as she was nice to me, I broke into tears. But I was so ready for someone to help me find a place to belong at that time in my life. And so
when I drove by Central Heights Church, full of anger, full of hatred, full of despise of life, and saw the sign that said DivorceCare, and I thought, what can it hurt? And I stood at the back, actually, because I wasn't sure whether I was going to stay or not, because I was so angry, and I was ready to leave. And I, for whatever reason, stayed.
And when I walked in the door and up the stairs, I met a friendly face, and that face was Louise Hebert, who showed me where I needed to go. And when I walked through the doors of the room leading to the class, I was met with the warmest smile and welcome from the leader of DivorceCare, Dick Hebert. He not only welcomed me, but he put me at ease as I was nervous and emotional all at once.
one of my journeys into town, I drove by Central Heights Church, and I saw a sign that said DivorceCare 7:30 Wednesday nights, and I thought that, I should take a look. So I went through those doors, and at that point, going through that door back then, I can almost remember the very first time I did, God had already started changing my life. My attitude was right. I had to learn.
Even having different people pray for you and different groups pray for you helps you heal.
God has been slowly building me back to who He wants me to be. Not who I want to be, but who He wants me to be. And I just have to let him work.
And it involves a lot of healing. So the course taught me so many things about how to deal with sadness, anger, especially to deal with forgiveness.
Through those times, I started to look forward to coming.
I started to learn the mistakes I'd made, how I could become a better person, the relationship with Him, I could make it stronger. The more relationship I had with Him, the more I heard Him talk to me. It was just a wonderful experience, and I felt all warm again, like I did when I first became a Christian.
I really learned a lot about myself and a lot to be more Christ-like.
I've been given information, resources that have helped give me direction on how to work through my issues. I have more confidence. It has made me a stronger person. and it has helped me draw closer to the person that God has created me to be.
I used a different pen in the same book, and then the second time I took it, I looked back at my notes and I went, "Oh, you were in a rough spot." So that was better yet. And then the third time was nicer yet. To slowly see growth, to slowly see healing, and I think God put me there to see that I'm not alone.
It helped me go deeper, more personal, in to see the areas that I needed to work on, to see the changes that needed to be made, reading the scriptures and seeing God's view on the subject.
Yeah, over the years, I learned a lot of other people going through the same thing that I was going through.
People in my group were open and they were hurting. The stories were similar, they were different, but the hurt was all the same. It was like we were fighting the same battle.
And I think God put me there to see that I'm not alone. There beside me. And mostly I found God there through His presence personally, but through His presence with so many other people that were walking my walk.
During small group and large group discussion, you're forced to look at yourself and to acknowledge what your part in the breakdown of your marriage.
Being part of the discussion group, being able to share in a safe and healthy environment helps you heal.
DivorceCare helped give me the biblical perspective that I needed.
As it says in Jeremiah 29:11, that He's definitely in charge.
And His word would work on me. I know that God's word is truth. I have to follow His word, and I have to live by it, no matter what.
It says in Ephesians that we should forgive others as Jesus has forgiven us.
You actually are held up to the light, and so
reading the scriptures and seeing God's view on the subject.
And I'm glad it was biblically based, because I found my love again. I found my Father. I found God. Even though I've gone through a divorce and I've gone through basically hell on earth, God still loves me. And I was so afraid that He didn't.
And I learned how much God truly loved me and how important.
I was a Christian, but I think I had lost a little bit of focus with God. The personal relationship wasn't really there.
The answers, He wants to help His people. He wants us to go to Him.
Because God is amazing. God is absolutely amazing. He took me from despair, from emptiness, and slowly filled me.
But it also allows you to meet with God in a real way.
And I also realized that God is indeed in charge of my life.
And God has truly changed my life, but I had to let it happen.
It all brought more peace into my life. I have more confidence. It has made me a stronger person, and it has helped me draw closer to the person that God has created me to be.
But I did reconcile with myself and having a better relationship with the Almighty One.
I now look forward to getting married again someday.
I got remarried, and now I could use all those things and stuff that I learned in my new relationship.
And I especially like that they had the DivorceCare for kids, and my kids were able to come to it, share their thoughts and feelings, bring healing to them in some way.
I would encourage anyone who is either currently going through a separation or a divorce, or if you've been divorced for many years and you've never come to DivorceCare, I would encourage you to come, because here you will experience God's love and be forever changed, as He will give you a new beginning.
I honestly don't know where I would be without it, because I've done so much healing, and God has allowed me now to use my circumstances to help other people. It's for people that are separated, and God has the answers. He wants to help His people. He wants us to go to Him.
And right now, again, all this happened at Central Heights Church.